if I'm going to elevate my game, I've got to do it fast. I've got to do it right away. I need to be all in. Getting to all in for a lot of people is not only possible, but it's inevitable that it's going to happen for you. We've just never been in a time with more global opportunity. I see it as the Wild West right now, and there's no limit. So the California gold rush in the United States was similar. And you think about it, and there was a feeling of unlimited potential going west in the United States. But at the same time, a lot of people were desperate, and there were a lot of desperate immigrants, and there were a lot of people who were leaving a horrible situation in Europe and even on the East Coast, of feeling like they were never going to make it in the big city, New York, and other big cities. So they went west. And there's two ways to do it. One is to follow the pathway towards nowhere, of allowing other people to line their pockets off of you and your fear of not making it in this new economy, in this new world, because it's a global world, it's a global economy. And I look at local and global together right now. But the global part's important too. You don't have to do it, but why wouldn't you? The other way is your way, which is figure out what fits for you and what you love doing globally. And globally means a lot of different things, but I'm talking about this virtual world of content communities, places where people gather that have never even met in person. It's pure freedom on the global stage online. There's two choices, and I picked choice one. Well, let's say I picked choice two, and I picked choice one, and then I got stuck in choice two, and then I went back to choice one. And I didn't get stuck for that long, but it was a couple of years. And I'm glad I did, because I learned not only what not to do, but I learned how to do what the choice two people are doing in a way that's more sustainable for me, not only me, but for other people. And it allowed me to write a new playbook, and I call it Flexible Founder Mode. And the entrepreneur experience is based on that couple of years, but it's based on doing method one most of my life, and then the last couple of years. Method one is figuring out what feels right for me, and that includes knowing what my product is, knowing what it is, who it's for, and why it matters, and how to connect that into the marketplace. And as I connect, knowing what to do next. I got a cat here. I'm going to have to shut my door. All right, come here. Get out. Get out. Jumps on the keyboard. Connecting into the global marketplace with the right people and getting surrounded by the right people. And I've always been able to do that from very early age in business. And then knowing how to make money doing it, creating the right structures. So I've always gone beyond business development and created new structures that led to profitable, sustainable companies, not chasing exits or chasing celebrity status or chasing after anything. It was creating something for us, meaning not just me, but people who were working with me, or I don't even like the word for me, but working with me, because I've always created new economic models of how I pay people so they stick around longer. And then how do I get the right customers in the door so I'm around people I want to be around? I've always figured out how to do that. And then next, or just at the end, is just keep going with that and expand it once it's stable. It's a stable platform. That's method one. What's method two? It's watching and following these very narrowly constricted approaches from celebrities, influencers, and their followers. And I got a couple years into that, and then I realized what was going on, and I thought, I'm not going to do this anymore. But I learned a lot. And what they're doing is they're fighting for position, control, and influence. And I call it the court of money, success, and fame. That's what they're doing. And it's a it's a pathway to nowhere. Um, where did that lead during the gold rush in California? I wrote an article, LinkedIn newsletter about this like over a year ago, I think. And there's a place, and it's actually named this, and it's called Suckers Gulch, Suckers Gulch, California. And what they were doing was they were realizing the pain of the migrants and pulling people out of the cities and selling tickets. And they sold the dream through connecting into people's pain, not desire, the opposite. It was the opposite of what actually works. And we see it now on social media. And this is the be like me. I'm on the stage. I've made all this money. I got this incredible life. And if you just also buy a ticket, you can come out and I'll show you how to pan for gold. And I'll sell you a pair of pants and you can sleep at my hotel. And, there's more that went on. We won't get into that. Uh, learn their games, know how they do it, and then beat them. That's the key to me. Beat them. Outmaneuver them in your market. You're going to clean up because the world's waking up to this stuff and realizing it doesn't work. How'd you make money during the gold rush? You went out early as an innovative pioneer when there was gold easy to get out of the ground. They made a lot of money in gold, in mining, miners that figured it out. Then other people noticed, same as social media. Then other people noticed and bought tickets. And who made money then? The people selling the gold miners stuff. They weren't gold miners. They were suckers. Don't be a sucker. If you're buying one of those how to succeed on Instagram programs, how to succeed in school, how to succeed on YouTube, how to succeed on LinkedIn, you're the sucker in the room. They're going to sell you whatever will sell. Whether it works or not isn't relevant. And with this economic game, when you win it, you're going to thrive as this declines. And you're going to impact and elevate the world where they're going to fight over declining share of wallet. Are you noticing with a lot of these celebrity influencers that they are charging less and less for their products? And it's because everybody knows they don't work. And I saw a recent one where I came up with this idea with our group called Claim Your 7-Day Guest Pass for the entrepreneur experience that we're launching. And this guy's made at least 30, $40 million a year, I think. I don't know how big his company is. It's about 30 million a year, but I bet it isn't. I bet the income's fluctuating constantly because it's declined. His business kind of fell apart. So he started another company for coaches and he's bringing the celebrities on the stage. And I'm like, it's the same stuff. And I'm like, it's for beginners, but it's not going to work because it's not what works. It's the tier 2 method, or not the tier 2 method. It's the second path. It's let's go pan for gold here. I got gold. I'm going to show you how I got gold and I'll show you my authority. They're using persuasion marketing. So it's effective for people who don't know what's going on. And the minute they figure it out, they either have to realize, oh, this didn't work for me at all. I'm exactly where I started. Or they realize, hey, I've been conned. And the people doing the conning often have good intention, but their impact is negative. And that's what I see happening the last couple of years. And I've spent the last couple of years looking at alternatives to this because that's what I love doing. And I've always done it. And I'm like, why am I following these popularity influencers thinking I need to do that? And it was very painful for a couple of years because I felt like, why can't I get more popular? And I was doing stuff on Clubhouse. I started a company called Sales Sherpa. Then it turned into Revenue Climber. And then I got more purpose directed with Solopreneur Inc. But it was still the same thing. It was still, I figured it out. You can learn from me, and then you'll get what I have. As underneath it all, that was the mentality. It was, how do I get you to do what I want? It's the same mentality as the top world top stage influencers. And then the cash register rings in the back room. That's the gold rush era. And eventually it collapsed because there was no gold. So people reported back and they said, oh, that didn't work at all. And now I'm bankrupt. And this is what happens. And I used to ask people, what's your number? And I just stopped because I'm trying not to focus on this negative aspect of this and focus on the positive part of it, of which is pure freedom on the global stage online is possible for anyone in the world who wants it right now. And that's what we're going to want to talk about is if you escape the fate of success in the hierarchy, I see it as the fate of success because I think they're trapped too. I think they're trapped in a fad, in a trend, and they can't get out of it. And they're trying to elevate their own game to be more purpose directed, but they're using exactly the same approaches that they use. So it's like giving people a how to become a market authority or how to have a life of purpose handbook as they go out to California and get stuck in Sucker's Gulch at the end. So it's no different. And they're spending a lot of time trying to figure out how do we keep the cash register ringing because it's declining, because doesn't work. So the reporting back is, yeah, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And then some people are looking up and saying, this doesn't work in the audience. So whenever you're in the audience, you immediately, it doesn't work. So that's a principle. If you're in the audience and they're on the stage, you're getting to it doesn't work. If you're sitting around a circle with people, then there's it works. It will work because it's your way. You're learning to develop your product your way, not their way, because it doesn't work. So for those who escape the fate of success in the hierarchy, gain freedom and autonomy and know yourself, the money follows. Will follow, or perhaps you need to downsize a bit longer. Downsize a bit longer means your vision may be bigger than you think. And I thought I was going to have a massive success 2 years ago. And that means externally measurable metrics and outcomes everybody can see. And that's not what happened. What happened was I had an internal shift into a bigger vision where I realized I have a deeper purpose than I thought in this world. And I thought it was about creating something for myself, a purpose-driven business. I called it Solopreneur Inc. and used all of these methods of the group coaching models, the signature stage, the content platform, the rooms that turn into funnels to create community and then sell people stuff from the challenges and all of that. And I did that. And I thought that was it. And it wasn't. What turned out was it's bigger. And I followed bigger. I followed my heart, my head, and my instinct into bigger vision. And that vision has not stopped expanding. It gets bigger every day. And that requires a different kind of skill. Now the skill is focus. And the focus skill is to realize it's going to take me a year to roll out the entrepreneur experience product suite, a year. And it's like, okay, start with the first thing. And then surrounding myself with 12 of the best people I've ever met in business and personally changes everything. And I realized that's the new game. It's just not about me. There's an us. When you create an us economically, it changes everything. And that requires self-interest aligned. We've aligned our self-interests. And if I make money, everybody makes money. If they make money, I make money. And there's models for that. And these economic models are newer. They're coming into the world now, and it's an adaptation of something that's been around for a long time. And when I started doing the conscious capitalism work years ago, and I was in one of those groups, I thought of how do I do this? And with my other company, I started doing it, and everybody was like, no, we don't want to do this. And they didn't. And it wasn't the right fit for that business. It is for this business. And you'll find that. And that's a big part of getting out of the fate of the success in the hierarchy, and really being able to not fight over declining share of wallet using marketing in the market. Because now, instead of affiliate partnerships, I was in the top joint venture mastermind group in the world that I found. And I was in it for a year, and I thought, this is exhausting me. And they're very good people, and that's what they do. It's natural for them. And to me, I was like, this isn't working. Um, this is the same old thing. It's not the next thing, the next phase. So it's not about me having a big audience and a list and them having an audience and a list, and then I go into their list and they go into my list. I'm like, this isn't working. Um, what it's about is our economic interests are aligned in the product and built into the product together. So their skills are available to me and my skills are available to them. And it becomes a self-organizing unit when somebody in it takes the reins at different phases of the development of the company. And that worked. So I look at it as, even though it's not, my aim is 30 million in 3 years and an 85% net profit margin. It's been that for 2 years. Um, and now I think it's going to be significantly bigger, but I don't care or need it to be bigger. But I think it will be, because it takes on a life of its own. That's what happened. All of a sudden, it's like, this is out of control. I'm not controlling this anymore. It's just happening. And it feels good because I don't have to worry about it. If I have a business issue, legally, tax-wise, I got somebody to talk to. If I have a brand issue, I got somebody to talk to. If I've got a networking question, I got somebody to talk to, who's great. I'm great at doing that, but he's a rock star, next level, at focusing it. I'm great at. I've been doing it my whole life, and that's my strength, and I still learn from him. I've been doing business development since I was forever. But Mark Shays, with the business development skills he's got me focused in an hour. I couldn't have done that on my own. He's convergent thinking. I'm divergent thinking. So all of a sudden I'm in a room with him and everything changed overnight. On the personal acceleration side, if it wasn't for Brian Muka and his invincibility practices, I wouldn't be able to do this. I would have limited myself. It's in the body. The limiting factors are in the body. They're in the subconscious, and that is inside the body. I broke through a lot of that stuff. You never break through all of it, but I'm a different person genetically. And that's because of the relationship with Brian and my own work. But again, I'm very advanced at that. But being with someone else and just say, hey, I got an issue, changes everything. And then the same with Judy Kane and Louisa Jovovich with money prosperity blocks with Louisa, and then mind head trash blocks with Judy. Without these skills, it wouldn't be the same. And they're just there. And I'm running this entire thing with Rowan in the Philippines for under $2,000 a month. I'm building a $30 million company for under $2,000 a month. And it's fun. And every time I need something shows up in the group with a skill that's already there. When I was having technology issues with domains and all kinds of stuff, bad ones, because this technology in the United States is a mess, and that's global. Jesse steps in and he's like, try this, try this, try this, and I'm finished. And now I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Security, vulnerabilities, tech stack issues. We've got the world's best tech companies involved in this, 4 of them. No, I don't have any more SaaS point solutions that make me insane. And, having people show up, and I didn't mention everybody, there's even more. I wanna mention all the people involved, but I can't every time because it's to go on for too long. And I have another 12 people coming online, world-class in industry. And I'm not gonna mention any names yet. Um, but, well, one, Charlie Kalek, we're talking this week, but he lives in Jerusalem, and he was trained by the joint venture mastermind group I was in. And he's evolved past a lot of those methods, and he's gonna be in our group. And as part of he's built into the product. This is, feels new, but it's not. It's just a group of people bonding together and bringing their self-interest together as opposed to follow the leader. So I think the world is turned upside down as these old industries that provided wealth, like private equity industry, law and consulting, and venture capital, are exhausting themselves because they're running these old playbooks that ruin family life. Sergey Brin just did it at Google. He showed up back from the island or wherever he's been in public, and then he said, "Get back to work. We got to win the AI race." And my answer would be, I quit. If I was at Google, I'd quit immediately. Now, a lot of people won't, but I think a lot of them are going to just quit and say, "I'm not ruining my family life for you. We're not 20 years old anymore." And even then, the legacy of Google is, you know, an annoying search experience and a bad ad network with a lot of leaky holes in it. That's the legacy. It's not a great product. So if I were him, I'd be upset about that, not winning the AI race. Um, Either way, the honest, be a good tadpole path to great product, humble authority persona, and strong market presence remains open to everybody ready to be a better whatever you truly are. Anybody can be themselves. You don't have to take a course on how to be an authority. You be an authority because you are. Everyone. There's nobody in the world that doesn't have an authentic self. It's already there. All you have to do is get to know it. And the way you can get to know it as an entrepreneur or self-employed business owner, whether you're a coach or service provider or a plumber or an accountant or a financial advisor or whatever, it doesn't matter, is to start with a great product because the product comes from inside your being. It's you. The product is the extension of you into the world. And that could be a $1 billion company, but Amazon is an extension of Jeff Bezos's imagination, and who he is and his self-awareness is in that company. And you can see what a mess it is because he hasn't evolved himself. And it's obvious. And the service experience at Amazon is terrible. It's worse. And the product quality is getting worse every day as he's expanding his ego-based, and I don't like the word ego, but just lack of self-awareness based perspective on the world of it's about me and our little circle, um, going faster, getting more, and speeding everything up. And I think the world wants the opposite. The world wants a better product experience to find themselves, have better families, and not work all the time. So these people are stuck in old models and paradigms in their mind, and that's coming out in the company. And I see that with Facebook too. It's not about connection at all. It's about having a persona and doing things so people like you. And that's what Facebook is. It's always been that. And now it's just more like that. And now the leader of it is being that when he didn't for years, probably because he was afraid of not being liked. Um, it's pure freedom on the global stage online when you just be yourself, but you need help. And that's what this group is about. The entrepreneur experience products we're going to roll out in the next couple of weeks. And it's going to take a year to roll all this out. And it's going to have to be quality because that's what everyone needs. And you're going to be able to get what you want in your life by doing these things, not like me or anybody else in this group, but like you, because you're going to be in a room with people who actually know what they're doing. And for some people, I think it's for the first time in their life where people just said to them, "Oh, just be yourself. Be a good tadpole." Brian and I talk about this all the time. How do you be a good tadpole? Be honest about where you are. I hate my business. I hate my family. You could say, I don't know what to do. You could say, I've been doing this forever and I hate it. You could say, and the answer will be, thank you for sharing that. When you're ready, we can work on some ideas. But for now, just hang out with us and experience that deeper because the answers are underneath that pain because you have gifts inside. But you got to get the pain out of the way by experiencing it more, deepening your self awareness. That's how I've always done it. I become aware that I hate what I'm doing, or I hate the way I'm doing it, or I don't want to be with the people anymore, or I feel like I'm in an old industry and it's dying. And I get out, but I don't just run out. I collapse. And then when I know, I start moving forward and I never know where I'm going to end up or how I'm going to do it. And I've been doing that my entire life. So that's my contribution is helping people figure out how to do that for themselves.